All right. Open the show, bro.
Open the show. It's episode 23.
Jordan.
Wow. MJ.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of manpower.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it. So, number one, let's talk about Dwayne Wade This is going to be a pretty heavy NBA emphasis of a show tonight. Since we have a lot to cover and the season is actually closing in on us sooner than later. Actually, sooner than expected. It's pretty crazy. I feel like it just ended. But yeah, let's get after it. Let's get after Dwayne Wade tonight, and let's talk about how you feel about that.
Well, I mean, everybody knew that he was going to get bought out by the Bulls. A lot of people are saying, "Wow, he gave away $8 million just to leave town." Guys, we're talking about Dwayne Wade, someone that he's been a star since he came in the league. Right. So he gets to Miami on a rookie contract. He was a top, 7 pick. So he had money there. Then when Shaq came, he got pretty much maxed out. He had like 2 max contracts. So what you have to realize is, unfortunately, when you play the sport of basketball and you're in the NBA, you're going to make a lot of money if you're a good player. So
that's correct.
He's at the point of his career where he could literally send the Bulls a check for $8 million and say bye-bye. And that's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to be here. He really didn't seem like he wanted to be here last year when Jimmy was here. And definitely when Jimmy was traded, which is still a surprise to me, on draft night, I knew the writing was on the wall for Dwayne.
Right.
So he finally gets to go back with his boo, where he played in Miami with. And I saw a little post on Instagram the other day where they had placed Cleveland. It's weird when you don't see it, you don't think about it. But then when you see it, it's like, damn, their fucking starting lineup could be on the bench right now.
Right.
So he's going to make their team really good. You guys got to realize he averaged 18 points last year. He's not, like, done. So adding him, losing a disgruntled Kyrie, I'm hearing Isaiah Thomas isn't back to, like, all-star break.
Yeah.
So Derek's going to have to play a lot, which is, do they have a third?
Yeah, Kay Felder. Good point guard, actually.
Okay.
Got him last year as a rookie out of Oakland.
Okay. So right now, the whole situation is, all right, Dwayne gets in. He's obviously going to start. I feel like that was part of the deal. And you got pretty much a solid team. So what do you think about Dwayne Wade in general? I mean, he only lasted here a year.
Right, he lasted here a year, rightfully so on his part.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Wade's a 35, about to be 36-year-old man. I don't think he's the kind of guy who wants to be the veteran-type leadership role in a rebuilding period. Mm-hmm. I think that, obviously Cleveland is a good fit for pretty much anybody. Mm-hmm. Because they are the usual suspect in the finals. You have LeBron alongside you. And the bottom line is this. I think that we know firsthand that Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler against the world last year.
Totally.
So there was no Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, like leadership role towards the rest of the guys in the locker room.
Which is what everybody says to the media, and that's not how it happens.
No, that's not how it happens whatsoever.
No.
That was Jimmy and Wade and the rest of the guys in the corner.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
Which is why Rondo got a lot of flack.
Right. And Rondo actually, he got the shit end of the stick because he was the biggest leader on the team, and he got portrayed for having the worst attitude simply because he didn't get along with Fred.
Yeah.
Which was so shitty because we know Rondo to be this bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But really, last year, he did everything right from a leadership role.
He could have sat back, earned the check, left fucking town.
And he put on.
He put them motherfuckers on blast the day after they blasted these their young teammates in the media. He went on Instagram and just blasted them both, and I applaud him for that because he didn't have to do that. He could have been like, man, it's fucked up. Oh well, fuck it. So he is a leader, and unfortunately he's gone. I used to think a lot about him until I saw that. But Jimmy and Dwayne were just they were tough.
And then we even started to realize after the game, this is Rajon Rondo now. This is champion Rajon Rondo. In the corner with Paul Zipser, Jerian Grant, Bobby Portis, Denzel Valentine, Isaiah Cannon was even in the group. Okay, every single night in the corner with those guys laughing and joking around, while the other two were prima donna in the shower and just no communication. The only guy that they communicated with was Taj Gibson before his departure.
Yeah, because Taj was literally in the middle of them. His locker was like right in the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
In the corner.
I think it was Doug, Jimmy, Taj, Dwayne.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Yep. Jerian Grant was actually next to Wade, and I didn't see them ever speak once.
No. He was just there. And they were very, they just didn't really talk a lot.
No.
They were very distant. It was easy to tell when you go in there. Jimmy he's just totally different than when he was a rookie. I guess you meet Mark Wahlberg and become part of his crew. That's what happens. I'm not blaming it on that, but it just seems like his change came then. I am very proud of what he did. He is the epitome of hard work pays off, but sometimes you have to stay humble, man.
Yeah.
You have to be a humble person. I feel like I used to think LeBron was a douche, an asshole, but he does so much for different groups, and sometimes, man, you can't be freaking nice to people, man.
Nope.
Sometimes you can't just walk outside and just meet the fans. There's a lot of ignorant people out here that want to start shit or want to say stuff.
Yep.
And that's the messed up part. Some of these players that are down to earth, they turn a little sour because one or two people ruin it for all of us when they say ignorant stuff or want to do something stupid. If you ever look at like these dudes' pages, LeBron could be like sitting down with his kids or something, having dinner, and somebody will say something ignorant, like, "Man, you ain't shit. Fuck you." It's like he can't be reading all of that because it's just it's weird, you know. So with Wade going,
it's like I told you about that Instagram post with the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
He posted a bottle of wine in his hand. The next day was, is LeBron showing off? It's a $398 bottle of wine. Do you know what a $398 bottle of wine is to LeBron James? It's like $3.98.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have to show off a bottle of wine.
And it's not his fault.
No, they look into
the best
everything.
Player in the league, bro. Is that his fault?
It's
that
not.
He's the best? No. Is it his fault that they want to pay him that amount of money a year? No. Do something.
It's his fault that he's the best in the league.
Come on.
Because it is his fault.
Why?
That he's the best in the league. And it's his fault that he's the best in the league because if you watch what he's doing in the offseason,
true,
it's his fault
that
he's the best in the league.
Because he fucking works his ass off.
He's working out 3 times a day. I get up at 7 a.m. and he's got videos at 4:30 in the morning running around.
Him and The Rock, if you want to get motivated, follow them motherfuckers on Instagram. That is why those motherfuckers are who they are, because they get up at the crack of ass and get in the fucking gym, get everything going, and when you're yawning and getting up, and that's including me, they are already on the second part of their day. And that's amazing, man.
It is.
That is a motivating factor for anybody. Just watch. But you're right, it is his fault. That motherfucker works his ass off, and then the people that don't, you'll see why. They'll probably be talented at first. It's like my philosophy in youth football or basketball or baseball. That little kid that's super awesome and killing everybody. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to grow up and have to see what you have after that. Once that growth spurt hits, now what do you got? Are you still working your ass off, or are you just working on the talent that you used to have?
Right.
You know what I mean? Work is huge. You have to get a lot of work done. I was listening to what's the Penn State player freaking killing everybody right
Daquan Barkley.
Daquan Barkley. He said specifically, he was like,
"Did you see that video?"
Yeah. He said, I get in the weight room every day because that work is what pays off. We'll talk about the video.
The video, he entered the weight room as a freshman. He told everyone, I will break every one of those records up there in the Penn State weight room. He power cleaned 400 pounds. He's a 200-pound, not even 200-pound running back.
He's 5'11", 230, bro. Runs a 4.36 40. Wide receivers can't even run that. And we're talking about this guy is the top choice for Heisman if you're not watching college. And
he will win it.
He said, hey, man, I just put work in the room, the weight room. Kid's humble as fuck. And he's killing. He's at a university that if everybody doesn't remember 5 years ago was in the shitter. And he's got them at number 5. He's got them at number 4.
They won the Rose Bowl last year.
Yeah. So it's all about putting in hard work.
Yep.
And it's going to pay off. But when you got people that, back to Wade, when you got people that, want it their way, he's at the position where I guess he's earned the right to say, you know what, I don't want to be here. Here's $8 million. Good luck to you. I want to go try to win one more with my guy. By all means, good riddance. Him and Jimmy, hopefully they'll do well, and we'll see what happens.
Correct.
What we got next?
Next, we have NBA All-Star Game format, along with the NBA reform that we spoke of in one of our previous episodes, which was the seeding, correct?
Yeah. In the draft lottery.
Right.
No tanking.
So there will be no more tanking, which I think is great.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's a true lottery now.
Yeah.
Before it was called the lottery, but it was kind of ridiculous because the worst team won the lottery pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Right?
Are the Bulls the last team to really, shake it up, though, with the Derrick Rose pick? I think they are.
Are they, or did Boston get one of those?
I thought Boston had Brooklyn's pick, though. What was it, Cleveland? I think Cleveland might have got one with Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. But it only happens randomly. I still personally think the Derrick Rose thing was a setup, but I could be totally wrong. But Chicago-born kid, blah, blah, blah. People don't realize how big Derrick Rose was coming out of college. With Michael, what's his name?
Michael Beasley.
Beasley.
From K-State.
Yeah, so right now,
character.
Yeah, 2019 is when it kicks in, but the draft seeding for picks 7 to 14, which are the last picks prior to playoff teams, they're going to get an increased percentage to possibly get into the top 3,
right?
Which makes the Brooklyns and the Phoenixes
and possibly the Bulls.
Oh no, there's no possible. I was going to get to them. I didn't even think I had to say it because when I'm sawing into that medium steak, we'll be watching the NBA draft lottery. They're going to be there, and then they'll probably have a good chance because this is 2018. So maybe the Bulls will get it. I have no idea, and I don't know if you do, who's supposedly the next coming.
The Nets will probably still be working.
I mean, in college, who's the guy? I don't know who everyone's looking at right now, but
I really couldn't tell you myself. I'm going to be quite honest with you.
You gotta see who's available.
Yeah, I don't even know which one of these freshmen might come out.
Yeah, I know there's a
Be a
junior.
top
I
guy.
think Michael Porter Jr. Remember
Michael
that
Porter,
name?
yeah.
He's at his dad's school. I think he went to, was it Washington? Yeah, because he left Missouri, and now they're at Washington because his dad's a coach there.
Okay.
So I'm sure that's not illegal. Whether they did that. But anyway, I think he's the next coming, and his brother plays too. But the seeding is going to be awesome because we're not going to see a bunch of games. Also, the reform is Adam Silver has the power now to find a team that sits a player, say like Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, on a night where it's a national TV night and it's a home away game. They would rather him be sat on a home game,
right? Because
the
season ticket holders,
because the season ticket holders, because of the national viewing audience, because of the revenue that they're getting. I mean, at the end of the day, the revenue is what pays them, so they have to listen to it.
right?
And you have to understand, if I'm a fan and I know how I am, if I'm going to a Bulls Cleveland game, especially this year, you damn well better have LeBron there. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what the fuck? Everybody's paying to see LeBron. I mean, I'm being realistic. I'm not being an asshole.
No, they are.
Back in the day, yeah, when it was Derrick Rose and Ben Gordon and all of them against, I mean, those were some fucking games. You got two teams, and I used to be in a freaking press box with popcorn. Just like, I'm here as a fan.
Right.
Because I will continuously say it, that Boston series was the greatest basketball series I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I went to two of those games.
Yeah.
They were the best.
And the funny
two of the
thing
best
is we were in
games
the
I've ever
same
been.
building and didn't even fucking know it.
Right.
But that is going to make a huge difference because I would say the Spurs started it all with the sitting.
Yeah.
Not Pop doesn't give a fuck.
No.
But what is your take? Do you think they're getting into the Roger Goodell realm with all of this stuff, or does it make more sense?
No,
as an
because I think
entity?
these are reasonable rules. I think they're necessary rules. Because I think the problem is if you don't stop this now,
Mm-hmm.
year by year it's getting more of a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the year before last year was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was getting kind of ridiculous towards the end, and there was a lot of scratches going on. I remember there was some primetime game where there was like not one Cavalier was playing in the game.
No.
Now, if I know 2 months in advance that I'm going to the Saturday night ABC 7:30 game,
you're excited,
and I buy my tickets for $300 a pop
or more.
There's way more. But if I do that, I'm buying those tickets with the expectations to watch LeBron, Kyrie, Love, the whole
Not Kyrie,
Kyrie. I want to see all those guys play.
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy those tickets because
At Boston, I think OKC's coming the second week.
right, and especially because these premier matchups, it's crazy.
That's what the NBA promotes.
Right.
Look at their Christmas promotion and everything else. Like, these guys promote them playing each other, and now it's like, okay.
Right, and you sit those three guys in a premier matchup, guess who wins the game? The other team who played the premier players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
especially in a league like this where there's so many teams that are so much better than other teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's no room for that kind of stuff.
No.
But then with the All-Star game, I love this personally.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this?
I'm on the fence about it. I mean, I get that it's been getting monotonous and, it's turning into a fucking freak show, meaning they're just lobbing and no defense, and
Right.
which I also get because, I mean, these exhibition games, people can get hurt. We all saw what happened with Paul George. I mean, thank God that he's back to his old form. If you saw that game, did you see it?
Yep.
When he broke his leg in half, I did not think he was ever going to come back from that.
Me neither.
but he did. I mean, it's weird seeing somebody's leg snap in half, but now he's at the top of his game. He's with one of the top 3 teams in the West.
Right.
And, it's huge, but what are they doing? They're drafting.
So there's going to be a
players.
captain on each team.
Yeah, the highest.
It's going to be a pickup game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I like.
Yeah. So LeBron and, say, Steph. That's probably what it's going to be. LeBron and Steph Steph's just going to pick his team.
Mm-hmm.
But don't they have to be all-stars, though?
Yeah.
LeBron can't go, all right, I want Tristan.
Right. So they determine the all-stars.
Okay, got it.
And then they pick.
So all-stars.
I don't know who gets first pick. I don't know how this works.
Mm-hmm. But you like it.
But I do like it.
Okay.
Because
and
the
it's
thing
for charity,
is,
right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it is the All-Star game has been getting so repetitive of the team play.
Mm-hmm.
You get Curry, Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Cousins, all on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get LeBron, Wade, Melo. Fuck, they had Pau Gasol one year. Kyrie. I mean, you get those guys all on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same Eastern Conference All-Stars every single year versus the same Western Conference All-Stars every single year. So now this year, you might have the chance to see Durant and LeBron on the same team. Probably not. But you have the chance to see that. Or you have the chance to see Westbrook and LeBron on the same team.
Or Durant. That's funny.
Right. Just, it's going to be better. I think it's going to be a little change of pace.
About it, it'll be a change of pace. It'll be a nice little breath of fresh air.
Right.
All-Star Saturday nights, usually something to see.
Yeah, I love it, to be honest.
It goes back and forth. I mean, Levine had it. I don't think he's going to do it anymore, but the dunk contest.
Did you see that? He said he is jumping higher than before the injury.
God, you're a Bulls fan. When did he say that?
Did you see that?
No.
It was late last week.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that he is athletically jumping higher and running faster than before his injury.
Wow.
Which I've actually heard before of this happening, but I've heard this with the Tommy John surgery, that some guys get the procedure done, and it adds more velocity to their ball, and their arm's stronger.
So it works for certain people.
Right.
Because
but
ACL
I've never heard
to
this.
me is now like
I've never heard this
the
for
norm.
that. Yeah, I mean, it really is.
It's not like it used to be where it was like catastrophic. Now it's like, all right, he tore his ACL, he'll be back next year.
Right.
Back and better.
I think it's more of a mental thing at this point.
Yep.
Which is why I think Rose got pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
I think it was more mental.
There was a lot of mental with him.
Because remember how he was scared? Remember he was not playing games for a while because
he said it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. People don't realize that Derek he grew up in Inglewood, but he grew up very sheltered. Not in general sense, but like his brothers were always around him. They always watched every little thing he did. He didn't really have a lot of freedom, so all he's known was his family, you know. Right. I only know a few things. I just read, but his brothers were very in his life, but they were very protective of him. So
right.
Certain things that normal kids did, he didn't. So he was like, you know, that's why he is how he is. He's very passive and like, oh, what should I do? So that's a tough situation. Mentality is huge when it comes to injuries.
Right.
If you don't have the mental state to get through the process, then think about Kobe. Kobe is mentally crazy. Savage. Tore his Achilles back, tore his labrum, tore this, tore that, broke his fingers are just played with all of that.
Yep.
But it's all about the mentality of knowing, you know what, I'm gonna work my ass off in this training and we'll see what happens. And he was Kobe. Only man, and now this will never happen again, to drop 60 in his final game. So, but you got to think about stuff like that when you're talking about, you know, that type of
mentality. Right.
So, what we got last?
Getting to our last topic, on Tuesday night, Melo, he played 20 minutes in his OKC debut. He dropped 19 points in those 20 minutes.
Now explain what you were saying earlier, which makes a lot of sense, about Melo not having to be the guy.
Right, so I'm not sure, I think it was episode 20 or 21. I said that I do think Melo will be fantastic for... At this time, we spoke about this. I don't even think he was on OKC yet. It was like between OKC and the Rockets or something like that. But I said that either way, he would be in great hands. And I said that because he doesn't have to be the guy. And with that being said, in New York, crunch time, he's bringing up the ball. He's trying to create his own shot. He's doing everything. He has to drive the lane, wear and tear, so on and so forth. Whereas now, since he is now on OKC, he has Russ driving the lane, George driving the lane, George shooting the ball, Russ shooting the ball. And passing. And the bottom line is, this guy is the third threat, which is scary because guess what? If you leave this guy open, you're gonna he's gonna burn you.
Yeah.
And
he's been working hard all season, all off season too.
Absolutely.
I've been seeing his videos.
Absolutely.
Lots
he lost
of
some
shots, lost weight, put up 1,000 shots a day. He was doing a lot.
But he's finally in position to be that guy from the corner, killing you.
He's turning into Ray Allen as we speak.
Yeah.
I mean, not with just threes, but with just mid-range, fucking off the dribble, all of that. You know, because he's like you said, he's lost weight, taking care of himself. It's gonna be a tough. I mean, Tuesday we were watching, like, dude, this team looks sick. Yeah. They didn't even show Russ. Right. George and Anthony, and they were playing Houston, and
George was attacking Houston, and Anthony was obviously firing. He was averaging almost a point per minute. So
yeah.
I'm really excited to watch that team play because I really like Steven Adams down low.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a good team. And honestly, I'm a huge Billy Donovan fan. I think he's a great coach.
I'm looking forward to see what they do against Golden State.
Me too. Yeah. Because that will be the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, I mean, that's...
Pending injury, that will be the Western.
Just like Boston and Cleveland, in my opinion. I just don't see any...
The Rockets will be no better than they were last year.
You've stated that on numerous occasions, and I agree.
Because people think the Rockets every year are going to be so good. They got Howard that year. Oh, the Rockets are going to be in the Western Conference Finals. They're unbelievable.
Dwight Howard has fell off since, like...
He's horrible. Did you see that Sports Illustrated issue? And I quote, he said, nobody should go through what I went through from rise to fall aspect. Mm-hmm.
So he's admitting it.
Oh yeah, he's extremely aware that his game has disintegrated.
What does he mean by no one? Like, was it someone's fault? Was it injuries?
Just
into it, or?
Everything, the way that everything happened between trades and attitude and peak and just everything.
Yeah. He had a tough... I mean, people forget he went to the freaking finals with a very bad Orlando team.
Correct.
They weren't good.
No, that was a terrible Eastern Conference
not
Finals.
Not a great Orlando team.
It was like LeBron versus Orlando.
That was when LeBron was with Cleveland by himself.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like LeBron versus Orlando by himself.
And then the Lakers just bust their ass.
Yeah, I mean, they had no chance.
What was it?
Jameer Nelson.
Oh,
man.
Dude, really? Zaza? No, not Zaza, but Hedo?
Turkoglu. Hedo Turkoglu.
I gotta go to the chef.
God,
that's a very
bad.
It was.
I'm thinking of one other guy they had. Played in the league for a long time. I actually kind of liked his game.
Who?
When you say it.
He didn't like. Oh, Gordon. No, he wasn't on that team. Was he?
I don't know.
Says he was. Gortat?
There was one guy
Anthony Johnson.
that I liked.
Courtney Lee.
I liked on that team, but he wasn't that great. But he was okay.
Really? I didn't know. Marcin Gortat is that old? Donald Foyles, Rayford Alston, Tony Batiste.
There, Michael Petrus.
Michael Petrus, yes. He's the one that said coach. J.J. Redick was on that team?
Yeah, J.J. Redick was a non-factor.
Jeremy Richardson?
Yeah, Michael Petrus, yeah.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of J.J.
I liked his game, actually, a little bit.
Petrus is good.
Yeah.
But this is Tyronn Lue was on that team.
That was a bad team.
That was not a good team. But I don't even know how we got into Dwight Howard, but it was mainly we were talking about how these players, I think we were talking about Carmelo and everybody else, but these teams, we were talking about Houston when they got him, but
right.
These teams are sick right now, and the West is looking tough when the East is looking So
the East has got two powerhouses.
Yeah. So we're going to end on that note. We'll be back soon next week. We're going to talk some Cubs. We're in the playoff run now, so you'll see
tonight,
a lot more of
go
us.
Cubs.
Cubs play tonight. Bears Monday. It's a crazy weekend. Bears and Cubs Monday. So
Pumped up.
It's great to be a Chicago fan. So I'm going to reach forward and cut you guys off. For Anthony, no Dylan tonight. He'll be here next week. And Dion, thanks for watching these. Oh, yeah, subscribe to our podcast.
Please subscribe to the podcast if you have not already. I know the subscribers been elevating pretty good, and we're really excited about that.
On iPhone.
On iPhone, just click on your iTunes podcast app. Just simply search ECSports. You'll see us with the half face. If you do not have an iPhone or an Android user, download the Spreaker app, Spreaker, which is the #1 app for Android podcast users. Simply again search ECSports and you'll see our icon half and half, and make sure to subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.